Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well under the current situation. Over the last few days I've been thinking about the lockdown we were in at this particular time. The word lockdown sounds like look down, and it's always true. We will always look at what grabs our attention. With the coronavirus pandemic we can feel down, but it can cause our heads to drop in despair and our gaze gets fixed on the gravity of our situations. I am reminded of a story in the Bible of a man called Peter who looked down, and it says this: as soon as the meal was finished, he insisted that the disciples get in the boat and go ahead to the other side, while he dismissed the people. With the crowd dispersed, he climbed the mountain so he could be by himself and pray. He stayed there alone late into the night. Meanwhile, the boat was far out to sea when the wind came up against them and they were battered by the waves. At about 4 o'clock in the morning, Jesus came toward them, walking on the water. They were scared out of their wits. "A ghost," they said, crying out in terror. But Jesus was quick to comfort them. "Courage, it's me. Don't be afraid." Peter, suddenly bold, said, "Master, if it is really you, call me to come to you on the water." He said, "Come ahead." Jumping out of the boat, Peter walked on the water to Jesus. But when he looked down, as the waves churning beneath his feet, he lost his nerve and started to sink. He cried, "Master, save me." Jesus didn't hesitate. He reached down and grabbed his hand. Then he said, "Faint heart, what got into you?" The two of them climbed into the boat and the wind died down. The disciples in the boat, having watched the whole thing, worshipped Jesus, saying, "This is it. You are God's son for sure." Instead of keeping his focus on and looking up at Jesus, Peter began to look down, and he saw the gravity of the situation and began to sink. In any sport, when things are not going right for a team, their heads begin to drop. The enjoyment, strength and courage starts to drain out and evaporate. Maybe there's a challenge that needs to go out to all of us today. What are we looking at? Are we looking down at the negative, or are we looking up at the positive? Thankfully for every team, there is a coach that stands on the sidelines and shouts out encouragement. "Come on, let's go. Chin up, heads up. We can do this." Peter had the same in his predicament. He looked up to Jesus and Jesus reached down and rescued him. In closing, the Bible says that when they got back into the boat, the storm stopped. I want to encourage us that God is near to us during the storm we're in now and is only a prayer away. Come on, let's go. Chin up. Let's get our heads up. Look up. We can do this. We can get through this. My thoughts and prayers continue to be with you. Have a wonderful day and God bless you.